I was correct again. People said, "Oh, she's gonna be playable," blah blah blah, because he's relevant and icon of gaming. So I don't really think Shantae is that iconic of a gaming character. I know there's some characters that are not iconic in Smash Bros. I.e., Fire Emblem reps, i.e., those guys are in the game. Okay, Ness and Lucas are not really icons of gaming, especially Lucas was only appearing in a Japanese only game, and Earthbound is not really that popular outside of its cult following because Nintendo does not care about that series and basically just abandon the series because of copyright reasons, which is completely stupid, but that's what Nintendo does with that series. Nintendo does not give a crap about Earthbound, but here we go. I was right. I said Shantae and Lloyd will return as me costumes, and people still, and all these weeks said, especially the Shantae weeker. That person was very annoying, but it seems that I was right again. I said Shantae, if she is in, if they're gonna put her in the game in some form, they're gonna put her as a me costume, not a playable character. Okay, and people tend to get confused of me costume and playable character. They say, "Oh, Xeno's in Smash because he's a me costume." That's still me Gunner. Okay, that's Xeno, me Gunner. Okay, that's not Xeno. He's not fully playable. And technically, if you want to get technical, Shantae already had a spirit in the game before it. But when I talk about characters in Smash, I talk about playable fighters, actual playable fighters, and not me costumes. Sans is not a player. It's not playable in Smash. That's a me costume. Okay, it's still me Gunner. Okay, which I wish people understand that, but again, there's lots of YouTube channels that will try to tell you, oh, but they're still playable, but no, they're me costumes. They're not. That does not count as a playable character. But the whole me costume Shantae thing, I think it does actually give, same thing with Sans, does give the Sans jokes actually a hope for it, but for her being in the next game. But the whole people reacting to Dante is completely ridiculous, especially on 4chan. Them complaining that Dante is not in the game, he's just a me costume. And that's how Lloyd being a me costume a mile away. I said, okay, especially at the Kaiuza's review, I said, yeah, Lloyd's gonna be a me costume. The Core Man is a me costume, and like last time. And I think there are some characters that is doomed to be me costumes forever. And I wish people would realize that Nintendo does not have to put the most requested characters in Smash Bros. They can put whoever they want, and the Smash community is still gonna put, the Smash, Mafia still gonna say, oh, Crash Bandicoot's the next fighter, and for the final fighter, Crash Bandicoot, and it's not gonna be Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot's not gonna be in Smash Ultimate. And there's no Flash Patch Free, there's no bonus character. I think the whole Flash Patch Free and bonus characters comes from, it's because they say, oh, if Crash Bandicoot's not in Fire Pass 2, then they can hope and pray for Crash Bandicoot being Fire Pass free. Which is absolutely ridiculous, okay? The whole cult around Crash Bandicoot and Smash is ridiculous, and it needs to end. I used to want Crash Bandicoot and Smash Bros, but after the whole cult of Crash Bandicoot and Smash Bros, and after the whole meltdown over Caillou's trailer, and saying it's the worst Smash Bros pick because it was not what they wanted, because it was not Crash Bandicoot, was absolutely ridiculous. Okay, just because it isn't Crash Bandicoot doesn't mean you have to throw a tantrum. I know there are people who want Master Chief Smash Bros that did the same thing, but it was nowhere as near as, Crash Bandicoot fans and Xeno fans. Okay, it was just people disappointed that it was Master Chief because, Virgil Ben said it would be Master Chief. He said it would be Master Chief, and it was not Master Chief, so it's really Virgil Ben's fault for that. But all the Crash fans would say, well, hoping it was Crash Bandicoot. And everybody's like, oh no, it's Crash Bandicoot, not in Smash Bros. And they went to Twitter and Facebook and 4chan and Reddit and cried and whined over a character not being in Smash Bros. Okay? And actually, if you really think about it, Shantae's series, unlike other series, is growing in popularity. I just thought that because of her design, they would have to censor her. And I think that's why she's just gonna be a me costume for a while, because her design's gonna need heavy censorship. Either way, they had to censor Pyro's design and Mythra's design, basically, to put them into the game. They had to censor Pyro and Mythra, and Pyro and Mythra is much less revealing than Shantae is. design is. Okay, well people say, but blah 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 blah. But that the original spirits were not were the original designs. But in order to be playable, they still had the censor to Pyro and Mythos design to be less revealing in the game. Okay, I wish people would realize that, especially after Pyro and Mythos design, they had to overhaul the designs to make them less revealing in the games. That's a character like Shantae or Maya Samiri are going to be a nightmare to redesign for Super Smash Bros. They're going to be a nightmare to redesign because those characters are more about the sex appeal, and I wish people would realize that. But again, people are, the Smash community is completely stupid. They still want Xeno in Smash Bros. Okay, they still are obsessed over Xeno, an irrelevant puppet, being in Smash Bros. Okay, they still don't give up on Xeno. Nobody gives a crap about Xeno. Okay, Xeno is an obscure and terrible character that only appeared in one game that is already forgotten because of Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi series. Okay. Xeno has not been in our Mario game since Paper Mario and Luigi, Super Saga, I think it was called. But to add insult to injury, the cameo for Xeno was not even in the remake of the game. So Nintendo was not gonna put Xeno in Smash Bros. Regardless. If Square Enix puts another character in Smash Bros., it's gonna be either 2B or Lara Croft, not fucking Xeno. Okay. I think that, and we already have an indie rep in Smash Bros. I don't think people are really clamoring for an indie rep because we did get Steve added to Smash Bros. And Steve was the indie game, Minecraft was an indie game. Yeah, it no longer is an indie game anymore, but it does represent indie gaming. Steve does represent indie gaming, and the heights of indie gaming has achieved. Yeah, not every indie game is not a game that only sells like 1 or 2 million copies, and it's praised by, old neckbeards and called a masterpiece. The people who call, Undertale a masterpiece, even though it only sold 4 to 5 million copies, which is still pretty impressive. But compared to, Pokemon and Mario, Undertale is not as big as Pokemon and Mario. Okay, but the Mii costume does shed hope for Shantae fans for the next game. So I won't, go around and say, oh yeah, Shantae will never be in Smash Bros. Shantae doesn't have a chance in Smash Bros. Because it's because of her design. But I said if Shantae's gonna be in the game in some form, it's gonna be a Mii costume. Now it's correct. I said if Lloyd's gonna be in Smash Bros. again, in some form, it's gonna be a Mii costume. It's gonna be Mii Sword Fighter and Mii Brawl. And people are trying to argue me that, oh, well, Shantae wouldn't fit as a Mii costume, blah, 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 blah. Because they're the ones who want Shantae in Smash Bros. In the first place. Okay? And yeah, I think, her series only sold like 3 million copies in total, which is still more than the last Fire Emblem game. Because, of course, we have to say that Fire Emblem every chance we get, but, her Shantae is not that as popular as people think it is. Shantae is only popular among our 44 communities and the Smash community. But yep, that's basically about that. So that means I was right about those things. And yeah. At least Shantae fans are not angry like Xeno fans were in Smash Bros. from getting Mii costume. Okay, Xeno fans for an absolute tantrum on 4chan and Twitter. Basically, and especially on 4chan, basically threatening Nintendo and Sakurai because Xeno was not put in Smash Bros. And really saying they'll never buy a Nintendo game again for basically, or threatening Nintendo, threatening Sakurai because they didn't put Xeno in Smash Bros. And it's funny how they'll say that, but they'll always bring up Waluigi fans for doing that, but they'll never bring up Xeno fans for doing exactly the same thing on 4chan. I know it's 4chan, you don't really take 4chan seriously, but it's still the same thing, same people, okay? It's doing the same things. And that's basically it. Goodbye.